Unlike last week's parasha, which was talking about the cases of Nazir and Sotah, and also the counting of all the Nisi'im, now we're going to get back to talking about Moshe, and specifically how incredible of a leader he was. So if I were to ask you to describe Moshe using a few words, what would you say about him? It goes without saying that he was the most powerful leader to ever exist, and probably will ever exist. He was also very smart. Anybody that asked him a question, he immediately had the answer to. He knew the whole Torah, right? He knew everything. So this week's parasha, בהעלותך, is going to give Moshe the ultimate compliment. So before we get into that, it actually describes that compliment around a very dramatic moment. And that moment was Aharon and Miriam talking Lashon Hara about Moshe's wife Sipporah. And the reason is because she was Kushite, she was a black woman. And obviously intermarriage was a big thing in the Torah, and it still is to this day. But Rashi actually says they were not making fun of Sipporah, and that's very misunderstood. They were not talking Lashon Hara about her, they were actually defending her. How so? Well, Moshe obviously had a lot of holy things that he needed to take care of throughout the entire Torah, and he would not always be available to his family and to his wife because of everything that Hashem asked Moshe to do for him and for Bnei Israel. But Aharon and Miriam were thinking, wait a second, we have a lot of holy things that we need to do also, but we can still also take care of our families. But, I mean, Moshe's mentality was not really that. He really wanted to focus on the things that Hashem asked of him, and he wouldn't be able to take care of his wife. So, right after this, the Torah describes Moshe as something incredible. It says, "Veha'ish Moshe anav me'od mikol ha'adam asher al penei ha'adama." This translates to, now the man Moshe was more humble than any human being ever had on the face of the earth. That doesn't really make sense though, because I just said before that it's commonly believed that he was the most powerful leader ever to exist. So how could the most powerful leader ever also still be the most humble person ever? That doesn't sound something that connects to each other. Well, in my opinion, I think the word humility is really misunderstood. It doesn't mean to think of yourself as the most low person ever. It doesn't mean to think of yourself as a nobody. I can't do this or anything like that. Like, I don't think Moshe ever said to himself, I'm a terrible leader. I can't lead Bnei Israel for nothing. Like, what am I supposed to do with these people? No, I mean, obviously before he started leading, he did have his doubts, but during his leadership, he never ever questioned himself because he knew that he was strong enough and he knew that Hashem was going to take care of him throughout this whole journey. So Rashi also says this: the word anav, humility, does not really mean thinking of yourself like a nobody. It means thinking of yourself as lowly but very patient, right? It means being patient with everybody, knowing that you have your steps to achieve greatness, and sometimes you just have to let things take its course sometimes. That's really all it is. And by the way, going back to Aharon and Miriam, Moshe could have easily snapped at them from talking Lashon Hara about Sipporah, but he was very patient. Like, he decided to not snap at them because he knew that that's not who he is, right? Humility is about not overreacting to something, taking things by its course. It means to take things easily, to have full trust in Hashem that he's going to take care of things for you. And as long as you take your part and doing things the right way, everything is going to take care of itself. Shabbat Shalom.